Hello and welcome to this 30-minute wind down yin yoga practice. I'm Rachel and I will be your guide through the next 30 minutes. So this practice is perfect for the end of your day, especially if you really want to wind down and relax. But you can do it at any time that you just want to take 30 minutes out for a little bit of self-care. All the poses are held for a longer period of time to get into the deep connective tissues, your collagen, your fascia, and really does help you get deeper into each of the poses. All of these poses today are going to be really relaxing, and you can have the use of props if you wish. So you can have a block or a cushion, but if you don't have any of these things, then it really doesn't matter. So we're going to start with our first yin posture, and that's going to be constructive rest pose. So just bring yourself over to your mat and come to lie down on your back. Just take your time arriving down on your mat. Have your knees bent here and take your feet about as wide as the mat. So just have them kind of on the edge of your mat, and then just let your knees fall in together. Lovely. With your arms, you can have your arms out by your sides, palms facing up, or maybe you'd like to pop your arms up overhead, maybe grab hold of opposite elbows. Having your arms up overhead just adds a little bit of something extra to this pose. But wherever you are, you just want to be relaxing your shoulders down onto the mat, nice and relaxed. So once you arrive in this pose, you can start to deepen the breath. Take smooth breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. And just start to let the busyness of your day so far just kind of melt away down into the mat. Let any thoughts that might be arising in the mind just kind of pass you by. You can observe them and then just let them float away. And then just to bring some awareness to your body, just notice the points of your body that are in contact with the mat. So the soles of your feet, maybe parts of your glutes, the back of your hips, and then maybe the lower part of your back is not in contact with the mat, but the upper part of your back and your shoulders are definitely in contact with the mat. And then notice your arms, parts of your arms that are in contact. Finally coming to the back of your head and neck. And then for the last minute or so in this pose, just try to focus on your breath and find a little bit of stillness. Just take a couple of breaths. And then just start to blink open the eyes. Bring your arms back down by your sides if they're not already. And then we're going to transition into our next yin posture, which is going to be our banana pose or banasana. So send the legs out straight, staying on our backs here. And then you're going to walk your feet over to the right bottom corner of your mat. Bend the torso just a little bit into that top right corner of your mat, so you're almost making like a banana shape with your body. Send your arms up overhead. Maybe use your right hand to grab hold of your left wrist, and then cross your left ankle over the right. And then just start to feel this lovely side body stretch. That's probably going to go quite low down in the legs, all the way up your side body, and maybe right up to your armpit, maybe a little further. And if you want to take this pose a little deeper, push down your left hip. So actively pushing it down towards the mat just starts to give an extra little bit of a pull around that hip area. Gives you a lovely side body yawn here. So once you arrive in this pose and you settle, focus your attention on where you're feeling your sensation and just breathe into it. Nice, smooth breaths. And then again, for the next few minutes, just trying to find a little bit of stillness. Take a nice deep breath in, and then unhook your legs, bring your arms back down by your side, and then just walk your legs back to center, just realigning your spine back on your mat. Once you arrive in your corpse pose, we're going to take it to the other side, so walking the feet over to that left bottom corner this time. Just shift your torso over to the top left corner of the mat. Send your arms up overhead. This time getting your left hand to grab hold of your right wrist and crossing your right ankle over left. Feel that lovely stretch in your side body. You might feel it was a little more intense on one side than the other, especially if you are a side sleeper. And then actively push that right hip down towards the mat, just giving you that deeper stretch around your hip joint. Relax those shoulders down into the mat. Close your eyes. And once again, we're trying to find that stillness within the pose. Focus on your breath. And if at any point you find your mind wandering, then just bring it back to your breath, to any sensations that you might be feeling in the body. The more you anchor your attention back to your body, the easier it becomes. Take a deep breath in here, and then slowly let your arms come down by your sides if they're not already. Unhook your legs. Just walk the legs back to center, just realigning your spine once again in the center of your mat. And then from here, just slowly bending into the legs, bringing the soles of the feet back down to the floor. From here, just slowly roll onto your side and gently lift yourself up into a seated position. Shift your bottom back as you need to center yourself on your mat, and just send your legs out in front. We're going to go into a half butterfly now, and you might need a prop for this. So if you do have one, have it close to hand. So block or cushion or pillow, anything like that. So we're going to keep this left leg out nice and straight. We're going to bend into the right leg and then just let the knee fall out to the side so that the sole of the foot can come on the inside of this left leg. To use your prop here, you can use it maybe to support underneath that right knee. Maybe you have it underneath your left knee just for a little bit of support. Or you can also sit on a prop. So this just raises your hips up and just takes away any tension, pressure from your knees as well. So with your foot on the inside of your leg, you're going to inhale as you lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward from your hips. Keep your arms out and come down any amount that feels good. So with yin, we're looking for our edge, which is that not too little, not too much sensation. So just find that sensation. Let your arms come down to rest on the mat, maybe turn the palms up. And then on your next exhale, just round the shoulders, the head and the neck forward. Feel a nice stretch in the back of that left leg, in your hamstring, maybe through the back of the knee. You might also be feeling sensation in that lower lumbar region, across the back of your hips. And again, we're just trying to find some stillness in this pose. So once you settle, focus on your breathing, on sensation. And just try to find that little bit of quiet. Take a nice deep inhale, turn your palms back down to the mat, just gently push into them, just to help you rise on up to your upright position. Remove any props that you had just to the side, and then just release that right leg out in front. You can take your hands behind your back and then bend your knees, and then just let your knees fall nice and loosely from side to side. This just feels nice on the back of your hip. Just a few of those from side to side, and then return back to your legs out straight. This time we're taking it to the opposite side. So bend into your left knee, let that left knee fall out to the side, bringing the sole of that left foot on the inside of your right leg. If you did use props on the other side, try to use them in exactly the same way on this side as well, just to try and keep it all nice and equal. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward from your hips, coming down, finding your edge, so finding that sensation. So come down, whatever feels good to you. Then let the arms come down to the mat, maybe turn the palms up to the sky. And then on your next exhale, we're just rounding the shoulders, the neck, the head forward. Be mindful of your neck. So if you do have any neck issues, then just keep your neck in that neutral position. Close your eyes once you settle into the pose. Breathe into any sensations that you're feeling. And then once again, trying to find that stillness within the pose. If at any point during any of the poses, if you feel you need to dial it back a little bit, then please do. This is your practice, so it needs to honour your body and feel good to you. Last 30 seconds or so now in this pose. Inhale deeply and just use your hands to slowly bring you back into your upright position. Send both legs out straight. Pop your hands behind your back. You can just bend into the knees. Let the knees fall to either side. So I like to call this leg swishes, but people call it windshield wiper or windscreen wiper legs. Lovely. From here we're going to transition into our sleeping swan. You may need to use a prop for this one. So pop it up towards the front end of your mat. And you're just going to send the legs behind you. Transition your way into a tabletop position first. So hands and wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Knees directly underneath your hips. So just finding that tabletop position first. And then you're going to slowly slide your right knee so it lands behind your right wrist. You're going to send that left leg out behind you, so nice and straight. And then from here, this is where you can use your prop. So if you've got quite a big gap in between your sitting bone and the mat, you can use a prop just to slide under that sitting bone, just to support your sitting bone, and also it will take a little bit of pressure off the front of this right knee. So you can use that if you want to. You don't have to, because the longer you stay in this pose, you'll start to feel your hips opening, your legs opening, and you'll start to feel that you're drawn towards the mat. as you become more open in the pose. So this is our sleeping swan, very much like a pigeon pose. And from here, we're just going to come down onto the arms. So first of all, just come down onto your forearms. You can stay here if you wish, or you can come down a little further, maybe fold the arms and then just let the forehead just rest down onto the arms. If you are up on your forearms, just spread your fingertips nice and wide, gently push down into your elbows and just make sure that your shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. And then you can keep your head and neck in a neutral position, maybe close your eyes, or you might want to just round the neck and the head forward. So entirely up to you, just see how your neck feels in that position. Otherwise, if you're coming all the way down into your sleeping swan, just try to relax as much as possible over the top of your leg. This is a pose where we often hold our breath, so really just try to make sure that you're breathing and that you're breathing nice and smoothly here. And again, once you settle into the pose, you're trying to find that little bit of stillness, trying to release tension. Inhale deeply now as you bring yourself up onto your hands. So take your time nice and slow. Just tuck your back toes and then slowly lift yourself up, sliding that right knee back. Bring yourself back to that tabletop position. Lovely. Once you arrive in that tabletop position again, you're going to slide the left knee so it lands behind your left wrist this time. Send that right leg back out behind you. If you did use your prop on the other side, then please use it in exactly the same way on this opposite side. And then entirely up to you how you want to come forward into your sleeping swan. So whether that's down on the forearms, or you're crossing your arms, coming all the way down, letting the forehead rest on your hands. And it's perfectly normal as well to feel tighter and more tense on one side than the other. So this side you might feel more open, maybe the other side you felt more open. So yeah, don't give yourself a hard time for that. Don't hold any judgment for yourself. Just go into the pose and then just try to settle as much as you can. Always listening to your body as well. If you feel any numbness, any pain, anything that just doesn't feel right, doesn't feel good, then that's when you want to be listening to your body and dialing it back or coming out of the pose completely. Focus on your breath. Focus on any sensations that you're feeling within your body. And just try to find that stillness within this pose. Inhale deeply now as you slowly lift yourself back up onto your hands. Tuck those back toes and then slowly lift yourself up, sliding that left knee back to your tabletop. You can just bring your hips back to your heels now. Just bring yourself down into a child's pose just for a moment. Just let your forehead rest down onto the mat. Just breathe nice and deeply, just letting your back release over your legs. We're going to stay here for about 5 breaths. Nice, smooth breaths in and out, just letting your body release. Lovely, then slowly lift yourself up, coming back up to sit on your knees. Perfect. From here, we're just going to come onto our bottoms, swing the legs out in front, and then we're going to make our way down onto our backs. Have a prop close by for this one. You don't necessarily need to have the prop, but it is quite nice in this pose. So just slowly roll yourself back down onto the mat. And we're going to do a variation on legs against the wall. So if you want to pop your legs against the wall, then please do so. But I am going to show you a little variation on that, which is letting your legs hang in the air. So if you have a pillow or a block, what you can do here is just lift up the hips, just pop the block underneath your sacrum. So just give it a little play around. You might want to go a little further down towards your glutes, maybe up a little higher. Just play around with it. So just let your back kind of rest on it. Does it feel comfortable? Once you get it in a comfortable position, you're going to send your legs up nice and high, and then just let them be natural, the legs. So you don't need to straighten the legs up, pushing through the heels. Just let the legs hang, and we nearly always naturally have a little bit of a bend in the knee. You can have the legs about hip distance apart. Just relax the feet and then just let the legs hang there. So relax your torso down, relax the shoulder blades, the tops of the shoulders down into the mat. And then you can just pop your arms out to either side here, palms facing up. This pose is really great for your circulation and is just as relaxing as having your legs against the wall. You can breathe a little deeper in this pose if you wish, just to really get deep into relaxation. And again, trying to find as much stillness as you can within the pose. And if at any point throughout this practice you found it a little tricky to try to focus the mind, don't give yourself a hard time. Don't hold any judgment for yourself. As long as you were trying to bring your attention back to your body, to your breath, then you are working towards building up that muscle memory to help you within your yin class, your yin practice. Lovely. Just breathe deeply here. And then just bend your knees nice and slow, and then just let your feet, the soles of your feet, just return back to the mat. Inhale as you just slowly lift your hips, remove your prop if you was using it, pop it to the side. And then just draw your knees into your chest one last time. Maybe draw your nose up towards your knees, give it a nice big squeeze. And then you're going to send the legs, the arms out, coming into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. If you have a blanket to hand here, if it's evening for you while you're doing this practice, you might want to pop a blanket on top of you just to fully relax and release here. So take up some space with your arms and your legs. And as you breathe deeply, just feel your connection to the ground, to the earth, to your mat. Each time you exhale, just try to release a little bit of tension. Try to release that little bit further into relaxation. Go through a little body scan, just making sure that each part of your body is fully relaxed. And then for the last few minutes of your final resting, just try to focus your attention solely on your breath. So the inhalation and the exhalation, and that rise and fall within the body. So just focusing on that rhythm. And getting deeper into stillness and relaxation. Start to bring a little bit of awareness back to some movement within your body. And you can do this by wiggling the fingers and the toes. And then you can send the arms up above your head. Stretch the arms and then just let that stretch run all the way down your body and out through your toes. A nice gentle wake up stretch. And slowly roll onto your side. And then slowly lift yourself up into your seated position. Once you arrive in your seat, take a nice cleansing breath in through your nose and out through the mouth. One more time, inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. You can blink open your eyes now if they're not open already. And that brings us to the end of this 30-minute wind down yin practice. I really hope that you enjoyed this practice, and I really hope that it helped to calm your nervous system down and make you feel a little bit more relaxed. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in my next class. Bye.